The royal family has survived scandals, betrayals, and international backlash, but nothing prepared them for this. Whispers from behind palace walls suggest a feud so explosive it may have ended with Prince Harry throwing a punch at Prince Andrew, all because of Meghan Markle. What really happened that night? And why is everyone trying to cover it up? Long before Meghan Markle ever entered the royal picture, Prince Harry and Prince Andrew were already drifting apart, and not just because of age or rank. Behind closed doors, insiders say Harry was quietly disgusted by Andrew's behavior, especially as dark allegations about Andrew's private life began making headlines. While the palace tried to manage the scandal with silence, Harry reportedly wanted nothing to do with it. He stopped attending events where Andrew would be present. Staff noticed the two never spoke unless forced, and even then, the tension was thick. Some sources say Harry viewed Andrew as a symbol of everything wrong with the monarchy. Outdated, arrogant, and untouchable. But that icy silence was just the beginning. Because when Meghan came into the picture, things went from cold to combustible. From the moment Meghan Markle walked into the royal family, the air changed. And not everyone was thrilled about it. While the world celebrated a modern, multicultural princess breaking centuries of tradition behind palace walls, things weren't nearly as welcoming. Some royals played nice. Others, like Prince Andrew, reportedly didn't bother to hide their contempt. It started subtle: dismissive glances, awkward silences at royal dinners, and whispers Meghan was too outspoken or too American. But those whispers grew louder and nastier. According to multiple insiders, Andrew openly mocked Meghan in private, calling her a disruption and a Hollywood headache. One former staffer even claimed Andrew joked that Meghan was just passing through, someone who would eventually get bored and leave. The comments didn't stop there. Some claim Andrew repeatedly questioned Meghan's background, not just her career, but her culture. He allegedly saw her as someone who didn't belong in their world and made no effort to hide it. And Meghan felt it. Those icy stares during royal engagements, the lack of support during press storms, it wasn't her imagination. Behind closed doors, she told Harry she felt like a target, and Harry took that personally. He didn't just see this as a family disagreement. He saw it as a direct attack on his wife, the mother of his children, and a continuation of the same toxic dynamic that haunted his own mother, Princess Diana. The tension was no longer quiet. And then came the night Andrew said something so low. Harry couldn't stay silent any longer. It was supposed to be a quiet evening, a small family gathering at one of the royal estates. No press, no cameras, just close relatives behind guarded doors. But that night, something snapped. According to multiple palace insiders, Andrew made a remark so offensive it brought the room to a standstill. While the exact wording has never been confirmed, sources claim it targeted Meghan directly, referencing her upbringing in what Andrew allegedly called less than royal circumstances. The insult wasn't casual. It was calculated, laced with sarcasm, and loud enough for several family members to hear. Meghan froze. Harry's face changed instantly. What happened next? Nobody expected it. One witness claims Harry stood up and demanded Andrew apologize. Not later, not behind closed doors, but right there in front of everyone. Andrew smirked, reportedly brushing it off with another jab, something along the lines of, "If she can't handle the pressure, maybe she shouldn't be here." That was it. Harry reportedly lost it. His voice raised, chairs scraped, the room fell silent. Some say he called Andrew a disgrace and warned him never to speak about Meghan again. Others say he stepped forward and got within inches of Andrew's face, something no royal is ever supposed to do, especially in front of the Queen. But what happened next would cross a line no one in the royal family was ready for. What happened next is still shrouded in whispers, contradictions, and carefully worded denials. But too many sources tell a similar story to ignore. The room was tense. Harry was furious, and Andrew, never one to back down, reportedly muttered something under his breath. Something Meghan wasn't meant to hear, but did. That was the final spark. Multiple insiders claim Harry lunged toward Andrew, pushing past staff who tried to intervene. One source says Harry threw a punch, not a wild swing, but a direct hit to Andrew's shoulder. Another insider insists it wasn't a full-on strike, but more of a shove with a closed fist. The kind of thing that happens when someone's been holding back too long. Either way, it got physical. Royal security reportedly rushed in seconds later. Staff were ordered to get the Queen out of the room, and the rest of the family was left in stunned silence. Charles was said to be horrified. William allegedly turned his back and walked out. The confrontation lasted less than a minute, but its impact would last for years. And just like that, the event was over. No photos, no public statement, and by the next morning, it was like nothing ever happened. But people noticed. Meghan canceled her next appearance. Harry disappeared from the public eye for nearly 2 weeks. And Andrew, he was suddenly nowhere to be found. The palace hoped the silence would bury the story, but behind the scenes, a full-blown cover-up had already begun. Within hours of the incident, Buckingham Palace went into full lockdown mode, not physically but operationally. Phones were ringing off the hook, staff were pulled into private meetings, and a quiet, unmistakable message was passed down from the top: this never happened. Sources say CCTV footage from the hallway where the altercation took place was mysteriously wiped within 24 hours. Security officers on duty were reassigned, and all internal staff were allegedly instructed to sign updated non-disclosure agreements. Even longtime royal aides were shocked by the speed of the response. According to one insider, the palace's PR team worked overnight to prepare a distraction narrative, something unrelated to Harry or Andrew, something to give the press a new headline. That same week, a sudden leak about Meghan's alleged diva behavior hit the tabloids. It painted her as difficult, demanding, and disrespectful to royal staff, a now debunked claim, but at the time it dominated headlines. And just like that, the focus shifted away from Andrew. Behind closed doors, Harry was furious. Meghan was devastated. And yet, the institution that was supposed to protect them had turned on them again. This time, to protect the one man Harry despised most. And if the palace thought they could bury the truth, they were wrong. Because while the royals were silencing the media, the internet was already connecting the dots. While the palace scrambled to bury the story, the internet was already buzzing with suspicion. Social media didn't miss a beat. Royal watchers noticed that Meghan had gone radio silent, Harry had pulled out of 2 scheduled appearances, and Andrew had vanished entirely from the public calendar. And then came the leaks. A royal staffer, anonymous but verified by journalists as credible, posted in a private forum that something physical happened between the princes. The post was quickly deleted, but screenshots spread like wildfire. From Reddit threads to Twitter deep dives, users started connecting the dots. Then came the emails. Journalists who had previously covered royal scandals began receiving strangely timed legal warnings not to inquire about recent private family matters. One reporter hinted on a podcast that a punch was definitely thrown, and it wasn't the first time tensions boiled over. But the biggest shift came when a former palace aide went rogue. Speaking under a pseudonym, the ex-staffer claimed Meghan had been visibly shaken the day after the incident, and that Harry had a private meeting with royal security demanding Andrew be barred from future family events. According to the source, Harry was done. Not just angry, done. The internet kept digging. Flight logs showed that Meghan and Harry left Windsor earlier than planned. Royal calendars were altered without explanation. Tabloid photos of Andrew were suddenly scarce. And through it all, one thing became clear to the public. Something had happened. Something big. And the palace was desperate to keep it quiet. But if that fight was the breaking point, then what came next would shatter the royal family's image completely. If there was ever a moment when Prince Harry decided he was done with the royal family for good, this was it. The alleged fight with Andrew wasn't just a family argument. It was a turning point. A moment that forced Harry to face the brutal truth. The palace would always protect its own image, even if it meant throwing him and Meghan under the bus. In the weeks following the confrontation, Harry reportedly refused to attend any event where Andrew was present. Insiders say he began rejecting private invitations from senior royals, even ignoring direct requests from his father, King Charles. The distance between them, emotional and physical, grew fast. At home, Meghan was done playing polite. She reportedly told Harry, "We can't raise our children in this madness." That simple statement hit hard, and something inside Harry shifted. Sources close to the couple say this was when the Megxit plan really started taking shape, not as a rebellion, but as survival. No more staged smiles, no more pretending the family was united. No more being silenced while others made backroom deals to protect Andrew. Harry and Meghan began arranging their exit quietly, securing legal counsel, financial advice, and media contacts on the side. Then came the bombshell, the Oprah interview, a moment that sent shockwaves across the globe, not just because of what was said, but because of what it confirmed. Harry was done. And for the first time, the royal family's cracks were visible to the world. Not just rumors or drama, but open wounds that had been festering behind gilded doors for years. But even as Harry tried to move on, the damage to the family and to the monarchy's image had already been done. Today, the royal family is still reeling from the fallout, but no one dares talk about it out loud. Prince Harry and Meghan Markle now live thousands of miles away, raising their children in California and refusing to return for most royal events. When Harry does visit the UK, it's brief, tense, and carefully controlled. Meghan stays behind. The distance isn't just physical, it's emotional, and it's permanent. As for Prince Andrew, he's all but vanished from the royal spotlight. Stripped of military titles and patronages, removed from official duties, and living in quiet exile at Royal Lodge, Andrew has become the family's ghost. He makes rare appearances, and when he does, the public reaction is ice cold. Behind closed doors, King Charles is caught in the middle, trying to hold together a crumbling image of unity, while two of the most controversial royals remain at odds. Charles has made gestures toward reconciliation, but insiders say the wounds between Harry and Andrew are too deep. Trust is gone. And forgiveness, not even on the table. Palace insiders say there hasn't been a real conversation between the two princes in years. Not a call, not a meeting, not even a message. And those who witnessed the alleged confrontation say they doubt there ever will be. Publicly, the monarchy insists everything is under control. But the truth? The royal family is fractured, maybe forever. And yet, one question still lingers like a shadow over Buckingham Palace. Was it a heated exchange? Or a royal meltdown? Did Prince Harry truly punch Prince Andrew? Or is it just another secret buried under layers of privilege and silence? The truth is, we may never get a palace-confirmed version of what happened. But the sudden disappearances, the eerie silence, and the carefully placed distractions all point to something the royals don't want us to know. One thing is certain, this wasn't just a family argument, it was a breaking point. A private war that shattered the illusion of unity inside the most famous family on Earth. And if the palace was willing to go this far to protect Andrew, what else have they hidden? The royals may smile for the cameras, but behind those palace gates, the tension still simmers. Unspoken, unresolved, and one word away from exploding all over again.